Alrighty guys, so today is Labor Day and we don't have a camera set up anywhere in the country right now because we moved houses 2 weeks ago. But today was kind of a free day for us, so we're getting ready to head across the big river right now to Ohio to set up for deer season. So we're gonna hit 2 or 3 farms today and set up some cameras and scout. So hopefully we can get some big bucks on camera. Alrighty guys, so this year we're going to be running Browning trail cameras. So somehow I have to figure out how to get this camera and this stick somehow stuck into this hay bale, and then that way I can use this little mount to actually hold the camera. So I'm going to use my machete to just try to figure out how to chisel this thing into the hay bale. So I need to get a pointy end so I can stick it in there, and then I'm still trying to decide if I'm gonna stick the mount in this way or screw it in the top and then turn this thing upwards. So I'm gonna see if I can do this. Alrighty, well, I somehow figured out how to get it in here. So all I did was I took one side of the stick and I chiseled it down to where it was a pretty good little point, and I shoved it in there as far as it would go. And then at first I tried to put the mount in from the front side, but the wood split in half. So then I rotated it 90 degrees and put it down from the top, and it seems to be holding pretty good. It split a little bit, but not as much as whenever I put it down this way. And it wobbles a little bit, but just as long as nothing moves it to that, I think it'll hold pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on, and then I'll show you guys our setup. Okay, so I actually remembered I can't turn it on until we leave because then I'll get a bunch of pictures of me. But the reason we're setting up down here is because last year we were about 150 yards that way, and the deer would always cross literally right here behind me. So we could see them come out of the block of timber right here. But then whenever they would come down to the fence, we couldn't see them anymore. And then they wouldn't get down to where we were set up and within bow range by the time it was dark. So this year we're setting up about 60 yards up the hill here, so hopefully we can get them to cross right here, and then they can walk up about 30 yards to where they're within bow range, and hopefully we can get a shot. So I'm gonna walk up here and show you guys how we have our blind set up. So I'm up here in the blind, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what our little setup is. So we're gonna be hunting out of the Baronet Ox 4 blind. It's a little bit lower profile since we're kind of out open in this field, but right out here we have our hay bale, and then right over here in this block of timber, that's like a point, you can't really tell, but that's a funnel where the deer come out. So we're hoping that this will be a good setup. I think our hardest part is actually getting down here without the deer seeing us in the woods. But hopefully, since it's still early season and all the leaves are on the trees, that they won't be able to see through. But by the time November comes here, it'll be tough to get down here, but hopefully we can get it done in early season. We don't have to be back here. But we're gonna go ahead and get our big game peanut butter and our corn out, and we'll get out of here because it is hot. So I just filmed myself putting out the Rack 1 big game peanut butter and the rut fuel, and then 30 seconds in, my camera shut off because it's so freaking hot out here. But we got that set up, and now we have to get a 50-pound bag of corn down here, which I didn't feel like carrying, so I'm gonna let my dad do that part. But then we have to turn the camera on, and then we'll be ready to get out of here. So we made it here to our second farm, and we did a little scouting off camera, and we found a pretty good spot back here. Back behind you all, there's a pretty good little holler right here, and we think those deer are gonna funnel out of there into this small little field. So we already got our corn out, but we're gonna go ahead and put some Rack 1 rut fuel out, and then of course we gotta put some big game peanut butter out. So the grass in this field is a little taller than the other farm, so we won't be able to determine which one the deer hit first, but I'm sure they're gonna enjoy this nice little snack. So we already got our Browning trail camera set up. So the only thing we have to do now is turn it on and we can get out of here, because I really think we're going to have at least one nice buck in here, if not a couple others. So I'm going to turn the camera on and we'll get out of here. Alrighty, got the camera on, so we're all set. Let's get out of here before it gets a picture of us. So it's the next weekend, and we're back over here in Ohio, and we're just gonna pick right up where we left off. So we just made it here to the first farm, and I'm gonna run down over the hill here and grab the camera, and then or grab the card, and then we'll check and see what's on it. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and swap this camera out and put a cell camera on here, because we got these in the mail this week, and we have really good cell service at this farm. So I'm gonna go ahead and screw this one off of here, and then get our new cell camera put on here. And we also like to save these for farms that we don't have any cell service on, the farms that are in more remote places. So go ahead and get this bad boy screwed on here. Get it the line. That's it. So all I gotta do is turn it on and we'll be set. So we just pulled the card out of the camera, and we don't have any shooter bucks on camera yet, but here in the next couple weeks we're hoping to locate a big one. But for now we're gonna go ahead and head to the next farm. So we just made it to the second farm, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab the card out of the camera and we can check it. Alrighty, got the card, so I'm gonna go ahead and go put it in the computer and see what we got on camera. So let's go ahead and pull the file up here. So it looks like we got 258 pictures. So the first evening, there were just some does in there. Oh wow, that's a tall 8-point. He was in there with 2 other bucks. They all look like, or at least 2 of them look like they had the same genetics. tall and sort of narrow. Also looks like we have a big group of does in here. Yeah, there's that buck again. He's pretty. Here they are again at night. Oh wow. What was that, $4? So that guy on the right is maybe a little smaller, but I think that one that's in the back there is the biggest. Tall. And then this farm has some fog. There's a small little spiker. This farm has a lot of fog in the morning, so you can't see very well. But we can definitely get some good evening pics. Alright, let's get to the next evening. So there's the two smaller bucks. I don't see the tall one in there. I think that's him. Oh. Yeah, there he is. So he showed up the next evening at 8:51, which is just right after dark. Alrighty, so I don't think I need to look through all these. We definitely have a good buck on camera, so we're gonna go ahead and get our stuff out, and we're actually gonna swap cameras and put a new Browning cell camera on there that we just got. So I got the new Browning cell camera out and I turned it on, but I couldn't get any service, and it's not the camera's fault because my phone doesn't even have service down in here. So we're just gonna leave the Browning camera that we already have down in here. So let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. Looks like we're all set. We also got a Baronet Grounder 350 set up right here in the corner. We've had this thing for years and it's held up really good. So we have our big game peanut butter out here, and we got the ground blind set up. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. So we just made it to our third and final farm today, and as we were pulling in about 500 yards that way, there was a really nice buck. I couldn't tell if he was an 8 or a 10 point, but I looked at him through my binos and he was pretty nice. I mean, he was outside his ears and his G2s were probably 10 inches or so. We're gonna get a camera set up here, and then we have a spot where we're gonna put a blind next time we're here. And then we'll get our big game peanut butter out here, and then we should get set up. Alright, so I got the Browning cell cam. We're gonna put it up right here on this fence post. Alright, that looks pretty straight. So we have pretty good cell service here, so we should be able to get some good pictures of bucks here. And we're hoping the one that was over there comes over here, because he was pretty nice. And hopefully we can get him here early before the rut, where they start moving around. But we already got the big game peanut butter out and the rut fuel out, so should be ready to go. Alrighty guys, so today is like Christmas Day for Dad and I, because it's the opening day of deer season here in Ohio. So we're gonna go ahead and get dressed and slip down to the blind. So we've been sitting here in the blind for about an hour and we haven't seen anything yet. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but I am pouring buckets. It is like
So it's the next weekend, and we had a huge cold front blow through last night. It went from being 80 degrees during the day to 55 degrees. So we had the big buck on camera a couple of times this week, the same one we saw last weekend. And we're hoping he comes in this evening. Guys, we have 4 bucks in the field right now, and one of them is the big, tall buck that has the crab claw that we saw last weekend. And 3 of them are up there, and then one of them is down here chasing the doe around. And the big boy and another little buck walked up and started fighting a couple minutes ago, which was really cool. So we're hoping that the bucks up on the hill here, including the big one, get interested in this buck down here and hopefully come in range. He's coming. Follow the leader.
So as those bucks were coming off the hill, they were making pretty good pace, and just like they always do, they get along that fence line and then we don't see them for about 15-20 minutes. And at that point we probably had 15 minutes of shooting light left, and sure enough, the big boy jumped the fence and my dad was like, he's coming this way, and he did not stop until he got about 60 yards away. And he stopped and he just smelled everything, checked it out, and then he came in range. I had a perfect broadside shot and he had his head down, and I pulled back. He didn't hear me, and then whenever I shot, he ducked about 18 inches and my arrow just went right over his back. I mean, not very high, over his back. And so he ran off, and then he kind of circled around a little bit, and then he slowly made his way off. And we don't have any footage of this because it was really dark and it wouldn't pick up on camera. So, you know, things like that happen, and, you know, we just learn from it and move on. And so we're hoping to hopefully see them here in the next couple weeks. And I know this isn't how I wanted to end the video, but if you guys have already made it this far, please be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.